Hi, I'm Maria P. Frino, and this is my latest book, Fame and Other Disasters. It was published on the 1st of November 2024. This is Chapter 2, Molly. The studio lights beam down with the intensity of a relentless summer sun, turning the set into a makeshift hothouse. Tropical plants would thrive here, but Molly is wilting. It's late January and the studio air conditioning hasn't caught up with the early morning heat. The room is sweltering. Her makeup artist stands by, pointing a portable fan at her face, trying to keep the sweat from gathering on her brow and upper lip. Molly's eyes flick to the director's face, and then to the digital countdown ticking away on the camera. The fan moves out of sight. Her makeup artist is stepping off set as Molly takes a deep breath. It won't be long now. The first recording of her show for the new year is just seconds away. She waits for the show's logo and tagline, "Brighten your day with daytime," to fade out. Her face beams as the camera zooms in with the air around her beginning to cool finally. Welcome to the new year and another fantastic season of daytime. Your daily hit of celebrity and all things social, fun, and fabulous. I'm your host, Molly Edwards, and my promise for this year is that this, she waves her hand over the set, is a COVID-free zone. Loud claps and cheers from her audience, only half of her usual, and all wearing masks. They all stop her mid-sentence. She waits until it all dies down. Her heart drops at the sea of masked faces, some colourful, some drab. The eyes peering over them wary of being in public, even though they are all well spaced apart. You heard me. Daytime is not the show to hear any more awful news about the pandemic. If you want stats and information about what we have all endured, and are still enduring, then you have the wrong show. She pauses as the audience erupts again and doesn't speak until there is silence. I'm glad you all agree with me. Now, it's time to introduce our first guest, who is a first-time author. Chatting to the author amicably, putting him at ease, she is oblivious to the cameras, the crew, and the murmurs she can hear from the studio control room. Molly is now a seasoned professional and is able to put her interviewees in a comfortable space. They trust her. The author has settled into the conversation well, a good choice as a first guest. When the interview ends, she accepts a copy of the book from the author. This is a perk of the industry, all the freebies. And even though she won't have time to read this book for a while, she still appreciates receiving gifts. With the first show done, Molly sits and waits while the audio technician unhooks her microphone. The crew is milling around, happy that this first show of the season is complete. Shows are produced over 4 days, and it can be intense at times. Molly keeps things upbeat and uses her humour to appease any ripples when her crew becomes fatigued. Mostly they are professionals, and the shows go to air without any hint of anger, animosity, or even mistakes. Working with professionals like Harold, the floor manager, who keeps an eye on everything and anticipating what the director and producer need, is a big plus in this industry. The crew is the cog that keeps the show on air. Okay, 1 down, 4 to go. Thanks, Harold. How long's the break? Molly adjusts her mask. Half an hour, just enough time to change the set. Molly nods and heads back to makeup to change and check her running sheet. They have all been back on deck since early January, planning and setting up for the new season. One guest is allowed in person, so, apart from guests being interviewed via video in their homes, the show's format has remained the same for the past 2 years since Molly took over hosting. She reflects on how she became an accidental television star. Molly had been the production assistant on the show when its host went AWOL after a huge disagreement with the producer, Sophia Admonson. This happened mid-show, and they desperately needed someone to stand in. Molly was chosen because she had shown an interest in hosting one day, and that day had unexpectedly happened. The host didn't come back. He became a recluse, and Molly has been the host ever since.